think hitting that kind of like that 10k a month mark has actually changed your life like at all? Is it?
Girlfriend,
Yeah.
like I remember like this time last year I went on holiday with her and we split it 50-50. I never want to have to do that ever again. Be able to book it this year and be like, I've worked, like this is what I work for. I know that I'm the kind of person who can make 10 grand in a month. And like that is insane. You can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you actually can do it.
Yeah, bro. Let's do it. So you're at a point I feel like that a lot of other people can like aspire to be like, and you came from a position I think a lot of people can resonate with. So if you don't mind, kind of like just sharing your story, going back to like, I don't know, not as far as like basics of school, but like the start of your journey, and kind of like give us a rundown of how you got to this point of where you're at now.
Yeah, of course, bro. So like this time last year, I was just coming to the end of my first year at uni, and kind of starting to realise that it wasn't really for me. Like it wasn't the whole like university's a scam, X, Y, and Z thing. It was just like I just wasn't really enjoying it, and I just thought I could put more time and effort into something that I would A, enjoy more, and B, could probably pay me more money long term. So kind of started doing the whole online business stuff. I tried trading. Obviously everyone I feel at some point has blown a trading account. Tried trading, didn't work, blew some accounts. Tried YouTube automation, got a channel to like 130k, couldn't get it monetized, and I slowly realized that what I needed was like to be competent in something and actually be able to offer a service. And me and my friend dropped out of uni, started a podcast because we just thought, right, we'll be able to meet people and things will just come from there. And from there, the first guest that we had on the podcast had a Twitter account, and I spent loads of time on Twitter and kind of knew the format that people were writing on. And I said to one of the people who came on the podcast, I'll write on your Twitter for you for free, just because like I enjoy reading it. It'll bring you an extra traffic source. Just set me up an affiliate link. And from there, I was writing on their Twitter, and I had no like experience with, I guess at the time, what would have been copywriting. I wrote a newsletter for the podcast and stuff, but it wasn't selling. It was just kind of writing on an email like a newsletter. Started writing on their Twitter, and they thought it was really good. They thought I could write well, so I started sending broadcast messages on WhatsApp and Instagram. And then from there, slowly just kind of, they were like, right, can you do my emails? And then once I was doing their emails, that's kind of when I joined Skill to Profit, and I was like, right, I have a skill here of copywriting, but with that initial client, that wasn't a repeatable process. Like I can't go and get someone on the podcast who goes right on their Twitter for them,
Sure.
X, Y, and Z. I needed to learn how to package it all up and sell it to multiple different people.
100%.
That's kind of the point that I was at up until February, when I joined Skill to Profit.
Amazing. And from Skill to Profit, what was the pivot you made to actually go from like, this is like something I'm just doing to see what will happen, to actually like, I want to start a business out of this?
It was mainly like I kind of reflected on when I started doing the trading stuff. That was probably about February the year before.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, it's been a year. I've had one foot in and one foot out, and like I know that I can do this. Like I knew I had it in me, and I needed to commit to something to actually mentally like, right, this is what I'm gonna do going forward. I'm gonna have a business online where I'm offering a service, and that service is going to be copywriting. And from there, kind of join Skill to Profit, learn more about outreach, learn how to actually package it up as an offer. Because there's one thing being able to do something, but then there's just so many different components to it. There's your outreach, the delivery, the onboarding, the fulfillment, the upsell, and everything like that. And that was all the stuff that I was clueless about. I didn't know what to do if I actually got a client. That's what Skill to Profit really helped me with. And like kind of when I got my foot in the door with the first few clients, obviously we talk about skill stacks in a circle in Skill to Profit and Kaizen Connected. And I knew that copywriting itself was a great skill to have, and that's the foundational skill that underpins everything that I do. But I knew that I did need to have a skill stack if I wanted to start charging the money that I knew I wanted to charge. And that kind of just came as I got my first few clients, because they just asked, they're like, hey, can you set up an automation for me? Or if I send you the login to the software, are you all right to help us qualify the leads on a calendar? And that kind of became what I'm doing now, which is essentially a a growth partner, a
Yeah.
growth operator, whatever you want to call it. I don't like the term growth operator.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, it's like a lot of it, people can put a label on it, but it's just a natural progression, right, of what problems you just think, right, this person has this person has this, and I can solve this, and or you're willing to learn, the solution to the problem. Like in terms of what you think, because there's a lot of people our age, right, that couldn't care less about this online business stuff or this entrepreneurial stuff. Do you think there's anything about you that makes you kind of different to other people, or like, deciding to go down a different path of actually I want to grow a business as per to going to uni or anything like this?
Nah, not really. I mean, like, doing the podcast was a big step, like, before I started any of this, because that was kind of how I feel like a lot of people maybe who are in similar situations to like us, one of the main things that stops them isn't really the business, it's kind of their friends and the people that they're with, and being scared to have to, like, oh, what if I have to post content or change my Instagram account from a private account and people are going to know what I'm doing. And I had watched all the Hormozy podcasts, all the Chris Williamson podcasts about, like, people won't care, and doing the podcast was something that I guess not a lot of people do. But in terms of, like, if I'm any different, no. Like, everyone in the inner circle we're all just guys and girls from wherever we're from, we're young people, and it's not the whole, like, I want to escape the Matrix type narrative. It's just, I want to run a business. I just want to offer a service to people and get paid good money for it.
Sure. No, 100%. And, like, to kind of get to the point of where you're at now, was there like a specific kind of pivot you made or thing that you did to actually get to this point? Because people tend to focus so heavily on, like, the 10k months and stuff like that, but realistically it's like it's stacking up those kind of 1, 2, 3k months. But what was the pivot for you to actually kind of get to the point of where you're at now?
I think, like, and it's not really a sexy answer, but just being patient and actually, like, learning the skills. Like, now I had my best month ever last month, hit an income mark that I would have only ever dreamed of a year ago, and I never really focused on that income goal. It was more just like, right, I know that to get there I need to learn this skill. Like, I need to learn how the sales process works, I need to learn how to do automations, I need to learn how to write webinars. And, like, if you kind of focus on the skill, then everything else just comes down the line. And that pivot, the pivot probably would have been me being confident in my ability to actually deliver the service. Like, I know for a fact that I have the skill to do it. And it wasn't necessarily a pivot, but it was more like a mindset shift of, right, I have put in 6 months, like 5-6 months of just learning and working, and now I know I'm confident enough to actually go and deliver this.
100%. Yeah, no, completely. And it's with the skill, do you think that that's why most people kind of, don't get to the point of where you're at? For example, like, what are the things you think are, like, that people mess up with? Because I mean, you work with me now in terms of, like, talking and helping other people. Where do you think, like, okay, cool, this is a clear, like, direction of this is where people are messing up, and what do you think those reasons are?
I think it's maybe getting stuck at, like, either end of the extreme of, this is going to take me ages to do, or I'm going to be able to hit 5k within a month. And I feel like people will either kind of sit on one side of either of those extremes, whereas it's kind of, yes, there are some people who are putting loads of work and, have an element of luck to it and will have a great first month of doing something or a second month of doing something, but that doesn't happen for everyone. And I feel like people may get disheartened if they've even been doing something for like 3-4 months, because 3-4 months doesn't sound long, but when you're in it, it does feel like a long time. And if you've not seen those results yet, you've got to not get disheartened and know that, like, you might not be getting the monetary results, but if you're working and you're learning, you are getting the skill, and the skill is what makes you the money down the line. So, like, in terms of things that, to go back to the question, that people might struggle with, I think it's like you need to find a happy medium of, like, things will happen when they happen, and things will usually happen because you've got the skill and you've got the experience, and add a little bit of time into that, you'll be okay.
Yeah, right. And your journey wasn't like, it wasn't flawless, right? Because I remember you put in the chat a little while ago when it was like you lost a client and you were like, and then you got another one after that. Like, what was that?
Yeah, so I, like, the first client that I ever actually got from outreach, I lost within a month. And I lost him within a month because he was my first client. Like, I kind of had a basic understanding of it, but when it came to actually delivering the service, I'd never done it before. And like, so for copywriting, I was taking care of his emails and I didn't set up his records and stuff right. And, you know, I went a bit too hard on the copy with the selling and he just didn't see ROI from it. And like, he sacked me for it. And that was my first client. And like, that was kind of where I realized is like, you need to actually learn how to do this. Like, it's all good taking a course and learning from people and people saying like, you can charge 1.2k for 3 emails a week, which was the offer that I went in at. But unless you actually have the skill to make the business owner the money, like, things like that will happen. They might fire you after a month, but that's okay. Like, I just had to tell myself that this is okay, and it's just because I'm not good enough yet, but I can get better.
100%. Yeah, and in like, I mean, and you fought back, didn't you? You know, that happened, and then you kind of, you know, you learn from the mistakes. I think that's people think that the journey to, you know, that 10k a month mark is flawless. It's like you do one, then you do another, then you do another. But I remember as well when I got my first client, I had no idea what I was doing, and I lost them in like a month and a half because you don't know what you're doing. But part of that experience is it gives you the knowledge and the info that you need to actually get to, you know, make more money, all that kind of stuff. And why didn't you, just out of curiosity, why didn't you like choose a business model? Like, because I mean, you've been online and you see all the stuff, so why didn't you sort of see like SMMA and do that and just go ahead with that?
Because I kind of learned from the YouTube automation thing. Like, on paper it sounded great, like, learn how to build a YouTube channel and then you pay people to take care of it for you and then you scale them. And it sounded great until I was sat down on CapCut with empty B-roll in front of me and I was like, I actually need to learn how to be a really good video editor now, as well as a good copywriter, as well as being able to do graphic design for the thumbnail. And I kind of was just sat there for maybe like September to October last year, just in hell trying to edit these videos. And that's when I kind of learned, like, right, I've chosen a business model, but it wasn't conducive to the skills that I had. Like, I hate video editing. Even for my podcast, the lad I do the podcast with, he takes care of all of that because we know that that's not my thing. And I tried to go into a business model that didn't complement what I was good at. And that's why I never did it again. And I was like, right, I need to choose a skill.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And in terms of actually monetizing the skill, was there like a big jump that you made to actually get to that point where it was like, I mean, getting the first client is one thing, but actually turning it into a business, was there like a specific switch that you saw happen?
I think having a real idea, like, so what we were talking about the other day with the pipelines, so having, like, getting really clear on how I deliver my service and like the steps from everything that I do, from getting in contact with someone to selling them to onboarding them to delivering the service, which is a whole different animal itself, was getting clear on that, because then I kind of knew what I needed to do with every stage of it. And that was how I turned it into a business, because it became less about the theory of it and what I could do, like, I can write emails for you, I can set up a landing page for you too. This is a blueprint, this is the process, this is what I can offer. And that not only gives you clarity in terms of like speaking on sales calls and whatever, but clarity in terms of I actually felt like I had a business. Like, I actually felt like I was offering a proper, robust service.
100%. Yeah, I love that. And what kind of advice would you like give to, you know, like 18-year-old Charlie who's like possibly interested and not really? Like, what kind of advice would you give to him or other, you know, 18-year-olds that are kind of in the same situation that you were?
I mean, dude, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I think like we all kind of have those two voices in our head that's like, I know I can do this, but then there's also the one that's like, oh, but I don't know if I can. Like, I see all these other people doing it, and like it sounds so cliche, and I actually hate myself for saying this, but like, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you actually can do it. you just need to give it time. And there's loads of other boring things as well. Like last year and like most of this year, I've been sober. Like I don't really go out much, and I'm willing to sacrifice my weekends and stuff. And like I've communicated that with my friends. They know what I'm doing, and like there's not risk of like me falling out with them or anything. But that's something that's helped me massively. It's just like, especially dealing with clients. Like if your clients know that you're active on the weekend, it's like you build relationships with them. You'll be able to build that lifetime value. And I would just say to my 18-year-old self, like, just listen to your gut.
100%.
You can do it. Like, know what's right and wrong. Like, know what you want and know what you can do, and just like follow through.
Yeah, 100%. And do you think hitting that kind of like that 10K a month mark has actually changed your life, like at all? Is it changed anything in your kind of like day-to-day life?
It's like, it's not necessarily the monetary aspect of it. Like I won't lie and say it's not nice. Like I've just booked a holiday with me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And like I remember like this time last year I went on holiday with her and we split it 50-50, and this is just a me thing, but I was like, I never want to have to do that ever again.
100%.
And like to be able to book it this year and be like, I've worked, like this is what I work for. But it's mainly the money just confirms that it has been the right choice. Like I always knew it would pay off, and I always knew that all the work would pay off. But the money confirms that. But the biggest thing is like, I have now become the person who is capable of doing it. Like it's a Charlie Morgan thing, but I love that. Like I now know that I am capable of doing that, and it's that kind of like confidence that it gives me. And like I know that I'm the kind of person who can make 10 grand in a month. And like that is insane. Like I've built the skills, built the character, built the network, and like that's the biggest things. Like yeah, it's me.
No, I love that. And how long was the journey, by the way, from like starting to now?
I mean, I bought Skill to Profit on the plane to Kenya, which was on the 14th of February, and I think we started like in the last week of February.
Yeah.
So February, like call full months: March, April, May, June, July,
August.
5.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. No, I remember actually our DM, and you messaged me. You're like, I don't know if it'll work, maybe because I'm off to Kenya, and I was like, no, it's fine. You can do it now, and then we'll start when we get back. And yeah, I mean, and anyone else kind of like in the position of like, you know, kind of. I mean, why did you buy the course? Like, why did you kind of, because it was a cohort format, it's not anymore, but why did you? Why, like, what was kind of like when you meant, yeah, I'll do that, I'll see what happens?
Like, without glazing or I trusted you.
Yeah.
Like, I trusted you. I think with your videos and stuff, I saw a lot of myself in you. And I quite liked the approach as well, because it's something that after the YouTube automation thing, it was something that I've been thinking of for a while about, like, I need to actually learn how to do something and do it well and be able to offer it. And the way that you kind of packaged up the whole like Skill to Profit thing, just it felt really well suited to me. And I knew that you had done a service-based business before, and I liked you. I bought into you. I was doing Project Kaizen, and I just thought, yeah, do you know what, this feels right.
100%. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people, it's that it's just a scary jump, and it is 100%. You're investing money, which is, I think people need to realize that where your money goes, your attention and focus also goes, and that's a good thing, because it means that if you were to invest in like a big program or into a course or even buying a book, you know, your attention automatically goes that way, because that's where your money's gone, and obviously that's what you value quite a lot. But no, I love that. And in terms of like next steps for you, what's next for Charlie McCormack?
I think it's kind of like settling into it's been a really fast transition from like copywriter to copywriting and automations to basically full stack growth partner. And I think there's a lot of new skills that I now need to learn. So for example, I need to know how to run ads. I need to know more about the sales process and like the management of that. And that's kind of where my focus is heading, is adding those skills to my toolkit, and then being able to, you know, really learn, like add those to my service delivery process as well, because I always get overwhelmed when my service delivery isn't clear, and need to add those skills, package up the service delivery, you know, recalibrate that, and then just moving forward that, and plus the podcast as well. Like the podcast is really good. I've now actually got the money to be able to reinvest back into it with like video editing and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's mega fun. So yeah, just kind of keep skill stacking, recalibrate the offer, get my current clients results as well, because obviously that's the main focus day to day, and go for 20.
I love it. And you've got plans to move out soon, haven't you?
Yeah, moving out with a lad that I do the podcast with, a lad who does sales, and then a lad who does property as well. So it's going to be a good house to be in. So I'm buzzing for that.
Nice. Are you getting an apartment or are you getting a house?
A house. So the property dude's actually got a mortgage on the house.
No way. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, so doing it up, we live in it, and like everything's just. It seems like the world has just opened up all of a sudden, and it feels like a real compound effect of a year's worth of nothing to a sudden spark and the bottom of the exponential curve. So I'm buzzing, dude.
100%. Yeah, no, it all happens underground. It gets built up and up and up, and as soon as it kind of like breaks the surface, that's when people see it. But obviously that's when it's like grows exponentially from there, which is cool. But no, Charlie, I massively appreciate you you jumping on, kind of like giving me a rundown of your story and stuff. I think a lot of people can learn just from like the basics of like, you do actually have to learn a skill. These business models left, right and center don't work because you are essentially putting yourself in a position where you are learning an entire business from scratch. And you know, when it's got a fancy name on it and people are able to sell it to you, that's why they do. It's not because like, you know what, you're really good and you'll have a core of understanding of this, but like you did, you actually found something that you were good at, and then just started going through the process of actually, okay, cool, how do I sell this? How do I create a good offer, find the market, blah, blah, blah. And hey, presto, 6 months later, you know, you've created a real business for yourself, which is really cool.
You'll know this, you literally just cannot fast track the process of getting good at something. Like, whether it's like with a business model, you just have so many things that you need to get good at all at once. But like, if you can just put your focus into getting good at one thing, it will work. I actually promise you it will work.
Yeah, no, amazing, bro. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it, man.
I massively appreciate you as well, dude. Like for the skill to profit stuff, for the inner circle stuff, like it's been great being able to connect with you. And like, I see you as a friend now. Like, I love working with you. And yeah, dude, I really appreciate you as well.
Thank you, bro. Stop glazing me, Charlie. It's weird.
Podcast as well.
Yes, yeah.